guys, you're listening to an episode that is a part of a series of episodes that is all about surviving in corporate America. The intention is that each episode builds into the next. So if this isn't part one and you haven't started at the beginning with part one, then I highly encourage you to go back and start from part one. Now, let's start the show. Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Happy Sunday, y'all. We made it another week. Hopefully y'all out there Rona free. It's August. It's August. Okay. We're breathing. How you doing? So if you came here and you haven't listened to the last 4 episodes, you have come to the last episode in a series of episodes. It's your workplace survival guide series. So, I suggest that you hightail it back 4 episodes and check those out, because all this right here, it builds and gives you more knowledge every episode. So go on back there and check out the others before you hear this, because this is the culmination. It's the last one. Okay? Y'all didn't know I was from Texas, huh? All right, look. So today, I'm going to break down how to survive a toxic workplace. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm about to tell you how to prep yourself to get the fuck out. But first, we're going to break down what is a toxic workplace. Then we're going to talk about what you need to do to survive while you're transitioning the fuck out. And then we're going to talk about how you leave. And hint, your goal is to leave with money. Okay, that's the goal. So we're going to break that down towards the end. So stick with me, y'all. It's about to be a ride. All right, so first, let's talk about what is a toxic workplace. Because see, a lot of people like to define a toxic workplace as somewhere where there's like a lot of shenanigans going on, you know, a lot of #MeToo and gossiping and bullying and drama and people fighting. And like, you know, they try to make it seem like Atlanta Housewives, but at work. And that's not exactly right. Okay? The highest of toxic workplaces, especially for us, means a place that allows the bad behavior of one or a few to continue. So I think the hardest truth about toxic workplaces is that they work to protect the abusers, i.e., the toxic people with the toxic behavior. And trust, the whole company does not have to be toxic for you to experience the worst a company has to offer. So think about it. At your company, is there a team, a department, a business unit? And the people warn folks, stay away. Think about it. There's a department in your company right now that you can be like, oh, yeah, you know. People say you can go to finance, but you don't want to work in audit. Like, don't. Girl, that man over there, he always touching on the, don't do it. It's legit like having a Harvey Weinstein open secret, right? Like, everybody knows it's bad. Everybody does whatever they need to do to protect themselves. But no one comes together to actually fix the problem. Unfortunately, it's not until a class action suit comes along and then the C-suite leaders are scrambling around, running around trying to fix the shit. And even that doesn't last if the culture is not intentionally built to stop the workplace toxicity and to stop the bad behavior and to punish the bad behavior and not allow the bad behavior to happen and not make excuses for the bad behavior. So don't evaluate the toxicity of a place based on one bad manager or one bad leader, right? It takes a little more. The toxicity lies in how the bad actors are protected, right? After a while, a bad actor in good soil will perish. They will exit, right? But if for some reason that person and then that person and then you had that boss and then that boss do that shit and people protect them left and right, girl, listen, this is why you have to be strategic about going to HR, right? Because the company's protecting them. And then you go over there and you try to say, hey, this isn't right. Like, I have documentation. Girl, no. Mm-mm. So listen, after the break, I'm going to break down to you what you need to do to survive in the toxicity before you exit. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Hey guys, Felicia here. I hope that this workplace survival guide has been helpful and giving you some keys to help you navigate your workplace situations. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to cover everything that I wanted to cover, and there's so much that I wanted to say and wanted to tell you, but based on some things I got going on, can't put that stuff on the podcast. But if you want to know about some like trill tricks and secrets, go to my website, sign up for freebies. I'm going to launch a webinar where I'm going to give you some extra tips that are just extra trill on how to get over and get around some of these things that are happening to you in the workplace. So if you got some stuff going on and you are having some issues, you don't want to miss this webinar. So be the first to find out about it by signing up for our freebies. So join our list and you'll be the first to know when the webinar launches. All right, now back to the show. All right, we're back. Now listen, you have now identified you are in a toxic workplace and you're probably dealing with some ignorant motherfucker who's like, got you at your wit's end and you like, oh no, I got to get the fuck out of here. Great, you have come to the right place. Now, let's talk about what you do to survive while you're crafting your exit strategy, right? Okay. So now first, you must at all costs protect your mental peace. Get a therapist and circle yourself with friends. Put yourself first. Please put yourself first. And also stand up for yourself, girl. Like, speak directly to this person, be it a coworker, be it your bad boss. Look them in their eyes. Speak firm and low tones, just like I talked about in the last episode with the bad bosses. And confront in clear, no uncertain terms, right? Like, just call spades spades, be utmost uber professional, stay polished, stay unbothered, okay? But stand up for yourself. If they say something rude or do something rude, you let them know, hey, this is unacceptable. Moving forward, my expectation of our working relationship is we treat each other with mutual respect. So I would not do that to you, and I would appreciate it going forward that you do not do that to me, and we don't have this conversation again. Okay? And you smile. That black mama smile, like when we get home, I'm gonna whoop your ass. That smile. That Claire Huxtable? Yeah, that's what you want to do. Now, with your therapist, what you need to work on is establishing boundaries and stick to your boundaries. Okay? One of the signs that you're in a toxic workplace is people have no regard for your personal time or your boundaries, right? Like that's a huge red flag. Okay? So listen, I want you to hear me and hear me loudly. You are never less important than whatever is going on at your job. Your needs, your self-care, boundary setting is not less important than whatever your manager is asking you for or asking you to do. Don't make other people's urgency more important than you. We have to stop. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of you, then what? How you gonna take care of somebody else running on empty? You not. You gonna half-ass shit. You ain't doing your best when you do that. Put yourself first. If your boss emails you or texts you at 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., they can wait till business hours. They can wait till 9 a.m., and at 9 a.m., you should ask for clarity. Let them know what you have on your plate that day and how they envision you prioritizing this new ask for the day. Always push for clarity, right? Always push for the prioritizing and aligning on that priority, especially in a toxic workplace. This is key. And then make sure you document that, right? Document. So until you leave, you must protect your safety, your psychological safety, number one. And you must set and hold your boundaries. And you must then do the bare minimum. What? Yeah, I said it. Listen, we always putting in 155 million%, 11 million%. Listen. When you know you about to walk up out of here, you need to preserve your energy because, listen, you got a whole job search you need to be doing. So you can't give them everything anymore because you got to give it to you to take care of you now because you're about to get the fuck out. Now, side note, if you're under the gun of a bad boss, and we talked about that last episode, you got time unless you on a PIP. So until they put you on a PIP, you get a good 6 months of them building a case against you. So if you doing the bare minimum starts your boss picking at you and then, this documented feedback and they're starting to build a case, you know how that looks. You can peep that out, okay? Like your gut will tell you, oh, this motherfucker up to something. Okay. You got 6 months. It's going to take them 6 months to build up everything. Generally, and I'm talking about big companies here, you guys. Usually I'm talking about like a big Fortune 500s, right? It takes them time. They got processes and procedures. There's some conversations they got to have with you before they can go to HR and activate, So you got 3 to 6 months, right? According on how big the company is and how much bureaucracy they have before your boss can officially put you on that PIP. Now, if you have officially been put on a PIP and you're like, oh shit, ask for more time. Ask for it to be extended if you can. Like, always try to ask for more time, right? You know you're on your way out. Fuck them. Just ask for more time because the more time you have, the better. Gives you more time to find a new job. Now, even if you're on a PIP, do the bare minimum and focus all your time on this job search. Because at this point, all the criticism, feedback, just take it with an absolute grain of salt. In essence, fuck them. Just fuck them and focus on you and focus on your future. Don't let them inject you with their silliness and stupidity. Because a real manager, if they were good at their job of people managing, They would actually work to develop you. They would actually be trying to help you. They would actually be trying to do things to motivate you to do more than whatever you're doing. But these niggas that put people on pips, they ain't shit. If you're a people manager out there and you putting people on pips, that's a reflection on your ass. You suck. Let that sink in. Now, of course, there's always exceptions to that. So don't be writing me some bullshit 95, 97% of the time. You suck. Okay. Now, let's say there's no writing on the wall from them, but you're pretty much like, I'm doing fine. Like, you could be getting a glowing review, but deep down, you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Well, then this next part is for you. A few things to consider, my friend. What will I need from any of these motherfuckers in the future? Right? We need to think about that as we plan our escape. Listen, some industries are small, right? Like the industry I work in is so incestuous. Just beyond, like, it don't take but 1 degree of separation and you just know everybody that work for these companies. So if your industry is small and the companies swap talent like teenagers swap spit, you just gotta be strategic, right? So 1, hopefully there are 2 or 3 coworkers who can be your references. Right? We got to secure the references. So, you want to go to them and have a general conversation like, hey, girl, hey. There's always a chance things happen. Who knows when the next layoff is, COVID, right? Oh, So listen, do you think we could be each other's references if we're ever looking for other work? Just throw it out there. See what they say. But find you 2 or 3, right? And they'll serve as your references from this job. The cool thing is, when you're applying to jobs while you're still at this job, guess what? I don't have to give you any of the information to contact these people. And because it's a big company, they got the employee number line. They don't never talk to anybody. They just verify I worked here and the dates. And since I still work here while I'm looking, then it's all kosher. So your reference doesn't have to be your manager. Now, hopefully, you and your manager are cool and your manager's not the problem. That's my hope. Odds are that's not the case. That's why you leaving. But if you are cool, open this door by saying, hey, Harriet, if you ever decide to leave this place for another opportunity, I would be so happy to serve as a reference for you. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Times are crazy. Never know. And then Harriet be like, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, totally. Me too. Yeah, you too. If we had to. But let's just try to keep these jobs. I'm like, yeah. I love you, girl. It's all good. Now, really what you want to do is weave this into a moment of your boss's frustration, like y'all in y'all one-on-one and she's just expressing to you that she's frustrated with some shit that, one of y'all cross-functional team members did. That's when you want to go in there, girl, yeah, sometimes, this place. I mean, you ever think about other opportunities? I mean, I know you like it here and all, but if you did, girl, I would totally be your reference. That's how you want to throw it in there. Just see what happens. No alarms. You don't want to cause no alarms. She don't need to know that you about to jump shit. That's between you and your Lord and Savior. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people say, don't burn bridges. Leave tactfully. Give your proper notice. Now, mind you, ain't no law. Most of these states at will. You could literally call your boss up right now and be like, hey, I quit effective immediately. Thanks for the opportunity. And be out. Now, you'll probably be marked not rehireable, But hey, you don't like this bitch no way. So, goodbye. Listen, sometimes you gotta be like Usher. You gotta let this shit burn. Just burn. Bye. One company, one boss, one pony don't stop no career show. It just doesn't. Now, what I would advise against is, burning down every bridge you come across. Like, you got to keep some of these bridges intact. Okay? You got to keep it intact, dog. Like, maybe want to cross back over, So just be strategic, because at the end of the day, we're not islands. We all need each other in this world. And if you're in a small industry or you're in this incestuous talent pool swap, then, you got to pay attention to these things. At the end of the day, it's always a case of pick and choose your battles, right? Especially if you're staying in the same industry. So just be strategic. Okay, now that you have references identified or lined up, next we're going to talk about... Yes, we getting out. We're going to leave this bitch, we're going to leave. We're going to leave this bitch, we're going to leave. After the break, I'm going to break down to you your exit strategy. How to get the fuck out when I get back from the break. I want to share a review that I received by Lisa Brown 838, and I'm just so grateful, you guys. So the title of this review is Awesome and Much Needed, and Thank You. Lisa says, thank you to this young lady. I love you for that. She says, thank you to this young lady. I wish I would have had such a forum when I was younger. Every episode I've listened to, I also have experienced or knew someone who had a similar situation in the workplace, state government job. I enjoy listening to her show every week. Felicia is incredible, talented, fearless, and innovative. Well, thank you, girl. The information she gives her listeners as an MBA in corporate America or not, as a Black woman working, her show is extremely helpful, comforting, and real. Today's episode was phenomenal. Keep going, Felicia. I support your show 100%. Thank you, girl. I really hope that everything I put into this show is super helpful to everyone. I do this and I create every episode with the multitudes in mind. You are not alone. It is not only you going through these situations at work. And you would be surprised at how many times you could take one person's story and just swap names, and it's the same exact story. But I want you to stay positive. I want you to keep leaving me reviews. If you listen on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you can leave a review, wherever you can rate the show, wherever you can share the show, please continue to do that. Because my only goal is getting the information that you need to help you survive and thrive in corporate America out into the world so that we can all have somewhere we can go and get the help that we really, truly need without feeling a certain kind of way or without being dinged. So I love you guys. Have a great week. And let's get back to the show. All right, we're back. Now let's talk about exit options. We're going to talk about how to leave. And we're going to try to get us some money. That is this goal of this section of this episode. All right, y'all. Now, these exits are contingent on the severity of your current situation and how at risk your psychological safety is. So please note, if you are crying every day, depressed beyond burnout, contemplating suicide because you can't see a way out, I want you to go to the doctor and I want you to take some time off. Nigga, it's time for a break. These people are trying to ruin your life. Do not let them. Run, Forrest, run. Okay? Like,
run, Forrest, run!
Put you first. I meant that shit. But for real though, if you crying every goddamn day, like if you depressed, my nigga, over this job, you need a break. This job is not worth your life. You are more than whatever these people have deemed you to be. Do not fall for this okie doke. Even if you own a PIP, the medical benefits are the same. If you need to go to your doctor, go to your doctor. Especially if you're under the gun of a PIP and you're on edge trying to prove yourself to get off the PIP, take the time off. Take the time off, okay? Worst case, they fire you with no severance. That's the worst case. You are worth more. Your health is worth more. You will get another job, okay? You will get another job. You will not fail in life. You cannot fail in life, okay? Shit happens, you learn, you keep it pushing. Like, it's not this whole idea of failure. Nigga, let that go. Okay? Let it go. This is not a failure. This is a great learnings. And trust me, I have had many great learnings in my career. Okay? Now, let's say you are psychologically safe, which is my prayer. And let's just say you're just highly annoyed and vexed and irked. And you're being mistreated, i.e. your boundaries are consistently tested. Your manager is micromanaging you, taking credit for your work, talking to you disrespectfully, doing disrespectful things, being rude as fuck, trying to make your life miserable, overly watching you, hawking and stalking unnecessarily. What you need to do is work to discern the following. If your boss is mistreating you or you're being mistreated in some type of way, is it a pattern and the perpetrator is mistreating you and your other coworkers? Or are you being singled out? Now, both actually help you make a case for severance, but you want to approach it slightly different according to what your situation is. So now, this is where documentation comes in handy, and you should be documented up to your ears. Your recap game at this point is so strong. It's strong. Like, you ready. Guns blazing with emails and possibly recordings. But again, I don't, if you heard the last episode, I'm just, what does your state say about these things? Okay. So, gather your documentation, folks. It's finally time to go to HR. Now, if you're being singled out, the convo goes like this. Hi, Becky. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. And this is where you put your hand over your heart and you just like you've tried and you're weary. That's your motivation for your scene here. Okay. Hi, Becky. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I hate to come to you with this, but I have done everything in my power to manage this situation on my own. I've had several conversations with my boss, and her behavior continues to be misaligned with the company's values and expectations of leaders here. May I share with you some recent examples? And then they're going to be like, oh, do tell. Yes, they're not going to say no. But you just, play the games. I would like to share these examples with you. So now what you want to do is give the examples of the bad behavior and then tie it into like the leadership verbiage and the company language, right? And say, hey, this person, they did this on this day, they said this. And that definitely doesn't go along with the leadership principle of valuing workers or whatever. You know what to do. You smart. Shit. Okay. And then you say, and for the life of me, I don't understand why she singles me out and only treats me this way. Why am I treated so differently? Make sure you say those words. Those words and your little black ass on that screen will trigger a little light bulb that goes off in Becky's head like, oh, you're being treated differently? And then you say, I understand that she is clearly valued by the organization or she wouldn't have her position, but I can no longer allow this type of treatment. It's unfair. The optics are quite awful. Can't hand over your heart. So I'm coming to you today to understand, what are my options here? And now you just stop talking. Because this is where the show starts. This is the good part. Just in your mind, you just have that gif of the black dude and he grabbed that popcorn and leaned all the way back in the recliner. Because it's about to get good, girl. Listen. So she gonna be like, oh, well, Felicia, I'm very sad to hear this. I've taken notes. Let me get back to you on this. And most times they're going to be like, okay, let me go. Because now they're like, oh shit, she done brought documentation. She done mentioned she being treated unfairly. Ah, shit. Okay, I got to go talk to somebody. She'll either do that or somebody more seasoned that kind of already know. They're going to be like, well, do you want to keep your job or not? Are you willing to move to another function or whatever? And mind you, be open to that, I guess, right? Like if it's the person that's the toxic problem, but understand what that says. If they say nothing about let's fix this person's behavior and it's all about moving you, the person who's coming with the complaint, around, that's a red flag for that company. Then it means you got to get the fuck out. Now, a good company would be like, oh my goodness, no, this is unacceptable. This is not aligned with our values. We're going to do an investigation. Here's the process. Here's the timeline. Here's what I need from you. Here's what we'll be doing. Now, if she says that and you know you trying to get the fuck out, then you say, I don't trust that the investigation will be helpful at this point in this situation. With her current behavior, I fully expect her to retaliate against me, even if I am able to go to another team. So, what are the other options available, to keep this simple and a win-win for the company and for me? And you just smile and sit back, put your shoulders square up, sit up straight, be confident. And she'll, again, then now, because it's like, oh, she don't even want no investigation. Okay, let me go figure out if we can give her some money and get her to sign this paper and shut up. Because that's really what you're trying to invoke. Now, caveat, this is really only in big companies. I don't know what smaller companies do. Big companies, their whole goal is to get rid of the problem children as soon as possible and to get you to sign a piece of paper that says, I will not sue the company, I will not talk bad about the company, and I will not tell anybody I signed this agreement. That is the goal. You're trying to get to that piece of paper and the money attached to that piece of paper. Okay? Now, let's say that this is a pattern with other people, right? Like, your boss is so shitty, he treats everybody like trash. Everybody. Or the coworker is a terrible coworker, is making everybody miserable but he's in a situation where the company's protecting his bad behavior. Okay? So you start out very similarly. Hi, Becky. I'm so glad to meet with you today, blah, blah, blah. But you want to add this adjustment. This person's behavior is consistently against the company's values and the leadership expectations. And there is a clear pattern. And I feel like this has been going on longer than I've been working for this person. And I would like to share some things with you. But I'm being treated unfairly, and this is unacceptable. And I'm not the only one. There is a pattern of behavior. So what are my options? Again, yes, no. I love when they start scrambling. It's hilarious to me. Now, they scramble in different ways, so don't let the calm scramble fool you and make you think they know what they're doing. Sometimes it's just okay, well, let me get back to you. And always follow up and say, when would you like for me to follow up with you? I'm happy to do that. And then they tell you, and then you make sure you follow up. But the hope is, right? You get that nice piece of paper, you get that nice check, and you go on about your business. And the other hope is, before you even sign the piece of paper, you already got another job lined up. It was probably going to put your notice in another week or so. But I'm sick and tired of y'all shit. So I'm out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my advice on how to exit a toxic workplace. Now, we're in August. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know how we got here, but we're here. And if you're listening to this, you are blessed and highly favored because you're still breathing and you're alive to listen to this shit on whatever device you listening to it on. You got a device and you got internet. Count on every little blessing. Amen. Now, for the rest of this month of August, we are going to be talking about your mid-years, your feedback you got, how to think through it, how to manage it, how to finish this year as best as possible and get ahead, even in the Rona. Our Women's Equal Pay Day is August 13th. That's coming up. Just demarking, the fact that it takes, I think it's like the white man is paid what we're paid all year by that date. Don't quote me on that. I get it confused. Just know we ain't paid like we should be. That's the point. And we need to fix pay equality in this country and around the whole goddamn world, actually. So August 13th is Black Women's Equal Pay Day. So I'm going to be talking about how to get your money up, girl. How to ask for this extra money. Okay? So you want to tune in next Sunday for that. And then, all the good things coming. So sign up for freebies, trilliumba.com. If you have any questions, concerns, you need some help, you can sign up for coaching. It's $40 for about half an hour. And we walk through and workshop your particular plan. That $40 goes to defray the cost of producing this beautiful podcast that you like to listen to, all these shenanigans that help you in your career, right? All right. So listen, if you have any questions, you can always email me at ask@trilliumba.com. I'm happy to help if it's something simple. I want to shout out all the listeners that have been emailing me, telling me how helpful the show is. I keep going because of y'all. So please keep sending me those notes. You can go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. That's very helpful. But please just tell your friends about the show. That's how you keep it trill. Okay? So happy August. We're going to make it, y'all. And until next week, keep it trill. The Trill MBA Show is a Fair World Corp. LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.